Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Welcome to the KVJ after the show broadcast. Yeah, baby.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, I got some emails going to get to here today. Got some good smelling donuts up in here.
I can also tell that you are back in the gym again a little bit. I can tell you get a little swole up in the upper area.
Yeah, you know, honestly, the weird thing about it, I'm nothing too crazy. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of stuff at the house.
I can tell.
Just a little bit of stuff. Yeah, I'm having a hard time just kind of motivate myself. Cardio is always my tough thing. You know, and I had a trainer when I first started working out with my trainer, Kev, like we just did weights. And so, but I got a little bit puffy. He's like, man, I got to trim you down. So then we started doing these just kind of like crazy cardio 1 hour long blasts of burpees and, you know, box jumps.
Burpees are awful.
And it was just nonstop. I mean, I remember I would do 100 at a time. And you're just like, I mean, you're at 70 and you're just like, if there were a gun, I swear to God, if there were a gun on the ground, there were so many times I just picked it up and shot myself to have an excuse to quit.
I would rather you come over here and kick me in my post-surgery tit than do 100 burpees.
Yeah.
I can tell
that is awful.
You are either getting swole again or you're wearing Canon shirts again. One of the two.
Yeah, it might be a combination. Yeah, I don't know that I'm necessarily getting
shirt.
swole. Yeah, it might be more shirt than it is, but I'll take the compliments. I'll like to pretend it's my body.
Just take the compliments, baby.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm trying to do that. Yeah, my trainer texted me the other day. You know, he's kind of moved on. It's been about a year since we really worked out together, and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "because I'm working out a new gym, and I might start going up there." He's like, "Hey, apparently they want to do some training sessions. You ready to get back on this?" I'm like, "Oh," there's part of me is like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess if they do training sessions, what am I gonna do? I have to do it, right?" I don't know. I mean, it was 5 days a week, hour-long ass kicking.
Can't you go 2 days a week or 3?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking about that. Can I do maybe 3 a week with you?
Yeah, you are a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Why can't you say, here's what I'm doing?
Yeah. I'll tell you that if you did it, I mean, if everybody worked out 3 times a week for 35 minutes to 45 minutes, you know, I think you could see a lot of people in better shape, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm trying to do, 3, just a little bit of weights, and then 2 days out of the week, I'm going to, kind of like do a little bit of the cardio stuff. I'm going to do it for 20 minutes. That's it. Call it good. Walk away. Because, oh, man, struggle is real, Virginia. The struggle is real.
I get it. I was trying last night. I'm like, come on, Rocco, let's go for a walk. Please, let's go for a walk. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to go for a walk, but my ass needs to be walking every night after dinner. I just don't feel good when I'm sluggish. I feel better when I've been moving.
Yeah, I hear you. So is life, Virginia. So is life. Got to do those things we don't want to do. Ultimately good for you. Got a little bit of a lesson here from Charlene in Boca. She they called in earlier, remember? She said, yeah, I got to give this to you on the after the show.
Yes, I do remember this a bit.
We were talking about weird things that men do. She said, this is why you shouldn't catcall a man. She said, a few years ago, a bunch of friends and I went to Key West to participate in a St. Patrick's Day bar crawl. Yes, it was as awesome as it sounds. I was walking down Duval Street towards the next bar on the crawl with 2 of my friends, a woman and a man, when a car full of spring breakers passed by us and yelled out, "Show us your tits." My woman friend said, I wonder what a guy would do if we yelled, "Show us your cock."
He'd probably show you because I've seen it.
So my male friend said, okay, I dare you to try it with that guy right there. And I pointed at another bar crawler wearing a green foil wig. She yelled over to him, "Show me your cock." And before she could get the last k out of her mouth, he whipped it out right there in the middle of Duval Street.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So that's why. That's because guys be like, oh, okay.
I grew up in New Orleans, and the Bourbon Street thing is real. So lots of women will go on lots of balconies and show their boobs, and people throw beads, and that's just a normal thing. People on the street show their boobs to the balcony. People on the balcony show their boobs to the street. But I always, when I was like in high school and college, we would get a hotel room and we would make a sign, show us your junk, because I wanted to see how many guys would do it. 19 out of 20 guys will show you their junk. I am not even kidding you.
I don't know.
On Bourbon Street, 19 out of 20 guys
Interesting scientific
will show
project.
you their junk.
That sounds not like an accurate study.
Well, I was drinking heavily.
Anyway, Charlene says we learned a valuable lesson that day. Don't ask a man to show you his cock unless you really want to see it, because if he is especially proud of it, it's coming out. And that's probably it. You know the ones that are proud of it and the ones that aren't. If the guy's not proud of his, I'm going to keep that right there. Yeah, we don't need
Even
that.
ones that weren't anything to be proud of. I think guys are just, hey, you want to see it? Here you go.
Yeah. I got to find out, too. Yeah, let me send a text to Christina, who we had on earlier today.
Yeah, what is the name of that cologne that she got for her man? So many people were hitting us up for the brand and the flavor.
Yeah.
I believe it was Nautica Sport. Yep, that's what it was.
Nautica Sport.
Yeah.
By the way, I stand by Nautica Sport. I think it smells amazing.
All right, old man.
I'll take it. I don't give a shit. Old men means you're wise, right?
Amber from the Acreage wanted to know that, so I'll see. I just text her, and we'll see. Hopefully we'll hear back before the end of the podcast. Got this email from Derek yesterday. We were talking about first world problems, just kind of pillaring off of, you really realize how much you, how awesome life is. I mean, if you need a reset button, get hit by a hurricane. 'Cause, man, I'm telling you, I would say 14 years now, I do not take for granted one moment of air conditioning now. When I have ice in my drink, I'm like, oh.
It's a special gift.
It is. When you get it ripped away from you for 2 weeks.
And any of us could have
Yeah.
it ripped away from us every hurricane season.
Yeah. And some people, the recovery is more than others, and it sounds like people right there directly hit the panhandle, or it's going to take a while. I mean, they're not even getting their cell phone coverage back on, tough stuff. So Derek said, yes, my first world problem. I've got a first world problem for you. My 2.5-year-old shithead toddler fired the remote at the TV and broke our 65-inch flat screen.
Oh, is this Derek?
Yeah. How do you bitch about that and not sound like an asshole? Yeah, my kid broke our 65-inch TV, so now we got to go watch the 40-inch in the other room.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds like some first world problem.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Hashtag first world problem.
You're right. Nobody wants to hear.
I've seen his
But-
TV.
but I
it was
get it.
glorious.
Yeah, but I get it. Yeah, I mean, I do get it. It's like going, you're like, how could I possibly go to a 50-inch TV now when I've had 72?
This toddler is a dick.
Yes.
That's funny, man.
I love it.
Jen sent an email. She said, hey, I just want to tell you a few things that my brother-in-law told me about Mexico City and the Panhandle that was directly hit by the hurricane when it came through. One, the body count is up to 200 not being reported.
What? They are literally still in the teens. I watched it last night on the news.
Yeah, I had seen that, they're using now...
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs, but they. What I was going to say is they're using drones. Oh. And so as the water's starting to recede, like one of the footage was, they found a body that had come up as the water started to recede. The other is that the main sewer infrastructure was destroyed. They may be reporting on the power, which I think is 111,000 in Florida, and even radio stations not returning. But the real issue is the sewer. It was totally destroyed, and even with the best resources and money, it would take 2 to 3 years to rebuild and correct the issue. So, yes, Kevin, just like you'd said, that town will more than likely be rebounding or will not be rebounding anytime in the near future. So, there you go.
What about all those people? Yeah, on TV, all those people are saying we're going to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, they can, say what they want. It's just, the timetable.
If the sewer is gone, can you rebuild?
Oh, sure. I mean, you could rebuild new sewer and all that, but I mean, that's a very extensive operation. That's not like how you typically see, we'll rebound here depending upon how bad it was, in a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I know there's some homes you drive around and be like, oh, I saw the blue tarps for years. Yeah, and you did,
When the sewer stuff when that stuff starts to break, and does that mean you're smelling shit and it's bad, or?
Yeah, you have water main breaks. It depends upon what it is. You've got different kinds of sewers. You've got the shit sewer, and then you got the storm drain stuff that's water runoff, and they're two separate systems typically. So, yeah, that's kind of what it is. But usually, like my hometown in Logan is trying to redo the sewer system, and they can do it one little piece at a time. But imagine if somebody went through and wrecked the entire town at once, which it sounds like that's more of what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
My parents were complaining, like, oh my gosh, this street's been shut down for months. So imagine you, in a sense, would be doing the entire city at one time. You really could be talking about years, if that were the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think you'd be able to do a rebuild, but that'd be the case. So anyway, hats off to people like those from the Great Southern Cafe. Head your way, Port St. Joe, loaded down, loaded up. Our convoy's coming to set up the Operation Mobile Relief Kitchen. Photo of those guys doing their good stuff.
Oh, there's one of those
That's
RVs.
awesome.
That RV you want to get, Virginia.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to get an RV.
Yeah, they're fun.
Head up to Vermont.
If you do it right.
Eat some fucking syrup.
Yeah. Some of those RVs they have anymore are freaking insane.
They're gorgeous. They're way nicer than any house I'll ever have.
So those they got those little houses too. Have you seen those where they're not like the RV level? They're way smaller, but they look like really, really souped up. Just kind of. Yeah, I think you brought this up a long time ago.
I have. I've been telling you about this for about a year. So it's prefab mini houses. Mm-hmm. They show up on a truck. And you tell them, okay, this is my piece of land. I need 2 mini houses. Bring them.
Oh, the ones I'm talking about. No, you can drive these. You don't stay at.
Oh yeah, they have wheels too. You can put wheels on some of them.
Got you, because the ones I'm talking about, they're specifically made to travel around in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they look like a house. Now, I think a lot of people buy them and stay, like you're talking about.
Right.
But they are super cozy, and it makes you just question, how much space do you really need?
Well, you're a guy by himself. How much space do you need? I've been preaching mini house for you for years.
But even your place, I know you've got way more people at your place, but if you had to condense, you could do it.
Absolutely. I walk around that house sometimes, and I'm like, growing up how I grew up, I thought I would have a house with 4 bedrooms.
Well,
that to me is rich and fancy.
The way they have it, Kev, you'll go into your little bedroom, and when you go to bed,
loft.
You're looking at your ceiling, like you can touch your ceiling, but it really is kind of cozy. Me and my dad were watching this show, and I was buying it, man. I was into it.
Yeah.
You should buy a piece of property, and you should put 3 mini houses on it. One for you, one for Denny's, and one for your dad. I've been saying that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's your property. It's your land. You fence it off. You can grow whatever you want to grow on it. You can have animals. You can have a garden.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a nice one, they're between 80 and 90,000. Now, there's lower scales.
There's
but
absolutely lower. I saw them for like 30.
Yeah, I think there's some. I got a small house for who we have, and I'm okay with it. Like I don't need all these extra rooms that I don't use, and if things get cluttered, it's probably junk that I don't need.
Oh yeah.
And so it keeps you streamlined, and I love being in a smaller place.
I got so much shit, just bullshit that I don't need that I've had from like 95. We're talking old journals from high school, love letter, all kind of weird. I found a box full of some real sappy shit not that long ago.
Oh, bring it in.
That would be fun. We
it's
should go through that.
I found a whole notebook.
We should go through
Oh,
that.
I need it.
Of love letters. I guess
Dude, that could be an ongoing saga.
Please.
I was dating this one
That's
girl.
great content.
She started to talk to another guy. I was heartbroken.
Oh, that'd be great. Gosh, yeah. One day I got to get to my parents. I've told you about that notebook that after I got into the Doors for about like 6 weeks, and I saw the movie, and I thought I was writing poetry. Oh my gosh, I would cringe so bad reading through that.
I would do anything
I know.
to hear
I wish
Kevin
I had it.
Wilson
I would
poetry.
bring it in and read it. Because I'm sure it's just, I can only imagine how bad it is.
I can't throw any stones. I led the league in doing cringy bullshit when it came to girls.
Yeah.
I need to hear some of it,
Just
please.
sappy horse shit.
Just give me a little bit.
I'll bring it in, definitely.
Okay.
Christina sent us an email, said I moved my family up to Alfred, Florida about 6 months ago. Bought our dream house, 40-acre horse farm. It's a great place with beautiful hills, streams, and lakes. I thought I'd escaped the hurricane madness up here until last week when Hurricane Michael was forecasted to come our way. Being a native South Floridian, we had our house boarded up, supplies, etc. I'm a nurse who had to work the storm in Panama City. It was madness.
Yes.
The hospital
crazy.
roof blew off, doors blew in.
Yes.
We had one critical patient and another one coded during the worst of the storm.
Oh.
Thankfully, everyone survived, but this area is devastated. I haven't seen so much damage since Andrew hit Homestead. After the storm, I was finally able to come home 2 days later, and my farm was torn apart. Barn roof blew off, trees everywhere. The roof to my house actually lifted off but came back down.
Oh, my gosh.
So thankful my family and animals are okay, but this area will take a long time to recover. Please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. I totally missed having you guys on the local radio doing your pre- and post-hurricane show. I was listening to the podcast and kept thinking, hey, why aren't you guys talking about this? And I realized, well, you're 500 miles away.
We were thinking about you, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely glued to the coverage, just praying that it wouldn't be as bad as it was, and it was just a beast.
Yeah, it was. So
If you need a little break, we're not that far. Come drive down here and have a little time away. It did wonders for us when we had back-to-back Gene and Francis.
Mm-hmm.
We would go down to Fort Lauderdale and just get a little break, and it was amazing.
Yeah, they had power.
They had power. They had ice. I mean, just getting away from the devastation for a little bit is good for your soul.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
You can come stay at my house because I got an extra bedroom. I don't need it.
You don't, huh?
Apparently not, because Rocco is in my bedroom every night.
No.
It looks like a homeless encampment. So Mags has her side mattress in there. Rocco has his side mattress in there. And then I have my bed. Everybody is in our bedroom. It looks like a homeless camp.
Oh, that's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Let me see. Heather from the Pizzle has got some advice for me about the movie. I didn't realize. About Kevin renting his the Star Wars movie Solo. You have the rental for like 3 to 4 days, but once you hit the play button, you've got 24 hours to watch the movie.
Ah.
That would explain it.
On the iTunes one?
Yeah, apparently.
I didn't know
'Cause
that.
I know on the Comcast one, you order it and you have 48 hours to watch it.
Okay.
And I've done that about 7 times with movies where I've watched the first 10 minutes and crashed. And then forget that I did it and think, fuck.
Yeah, well, that would explain why it wasn't there and why I couldn't get it to play. I was just like, what is going on? And I didn't know that. And it didn't give me a warning. Be like, it didn't say anything about that.
I was going to rent Solo the other night. I just didn't have the heart.
Well, now I got to freaking pay again. So now I just got to figure out, okay. And if I see the end, I was okay with it, but I wasn't like.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It was a decent movie, but I wasn't blown away with it.
Yeah.
As controversial as that may be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Jason, this is just advice. I'm not trying to film school explain when you are shooting films that are, you're supposed to have permits if you're out on location so people in that area are notified.
Yeah, but we don't do that.
Yeah. Go rogue, baby.
Go rogue.
Go rogue.
We ain't got time for permits and all that shit. And it gets me excited to know I'm dancing with a little danger.
If not a permit, at least maybe send out an email to your building so that people aren't scared to the point where they think there's a shooting.
What the fuck is that person? They work on the second floor or something? All right, thanks for the note.
Permits are expensive.
Yeah.
Permits are for pansies.
Emails are complicated. I don't have anyone's address.
Emails are tricky.
I'm already out almost $3,000 on this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Permits, no.
This is a big budget film.
So
Big budget, 0 views.
Aww. I think we're going to have a good turnout. I like how you're doing it this year with a Friday and a Saturday premiere.
And it's we usually release it on social media on Halloween Day. I think I'm going to try to release it a little bit early, get more people watching it.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't release it before the premiere.
No, of course not.
Okay.
So do you think there will be a movie next year?
Yeah, I would do some things differently a little bit. But yeah, I definitely, absolutely.
Smaller role for Virginia.
No, you actually aren't the worst person to deal with. I know that's kind of mind-blowing.
I'll try to step up my game. Is that a challenge?
No, please don't.
I thought this was kind of interesting, with the Connors debuting last night on ABC as a Axe Roseanne. By the way, she was tweeting last night, "I'm not dead."
Oh yeah, she's definitely out there.
Yeah, she's been vocal about it. I'm sure a lot of people. I really can't wait to see what is going to happen with the ratings on that show. I think last night's going to be good. I don't think that's going to be the telltale. I think you want to see in about 6 weeks from now.
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to.
You don't think they're going to be good?
I'm interested to see, because I didn't watch too much of the last one. I watched clips of it just so we're able to talk about it for talking points. But was it always that heavy? Was it always that heavy?
Well, when you kill the main character the show is created about, it might be harder to get through that one.
It was not that heavy. It
that
was
probably
a
was
comedy.
just that.
It was a comedy.
That's pretty heavy. I mean, and I totally understand that it's a real problem, and I understand that.
I think they did it on purpose to hurt her.
Possibly.
I think she thinks that too.
I think it's probably true, because they felt so slighted. Maybe it's the writers, maybe it's the actors. I don't know who it is. Somebody did that on purpose to hurt her. You didn't have to make it like that.
Opioids.
You didn't have to make it that, like, shady.
And I like when comedies do tackle, tough subjects.
Yeah.
But can we maybe get, get into it a little bit?
Those are some of the, you look back at the history of sitcoms, and some of the biggest moments sitcoms ever had was that episode where they did something serious. I mean, you look back, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You remember the one where his dad came back?
Oh,
and he's like, Dad, can we hang out? And then Dad leaves. He's like, he just doesn't love me, man. He doesn't love me. My dad didn't want me.
That's not funny.
No, you're right. But at that point in the series, to me, I'm looking at it a little differently. I'm kind of looking at it's almost like a brand new show, sort of. And I get that it's not, but it kind of is. It's different writers. Roseanne's not a part of it. So to me, this is kind of a different product that they're putting out.
But it's still a continuous storyline.
It is.
And I think that's why they're saying, we got to hit this speed bump to.
Yeah, my point doesn't make it. I'll go fuck myself.
Well, I mean, he's a filmmaker, Kevin. I think that he should be taken seriously.
That's true. You're right.
I'm making a movie and uploading it to YouTube. What a filmmaker.
You've got a theater.
I hear
You're
you.
premiering in a theater. Focus on that.
I'm just saying with the Will Smith the Will Smith stuff, they already got into it. They already had a storyline. They didn't jump right into sadness.
Yeah. Well, I think probably the next episode you're going to see probably
hijinks.
Yeah, I think it'll be right back to hijinks.
Mom's dead. Hijinks.
Yeah, I think realistically, there might be a couple hangover like references here and that, but they'll probably even still make them funny, where it's like going, I found this from Mom's and this and that. It won't be done in a heavy way. And you wonder about all the reboots that are out there and what's going on. Well, Will and Grace is back, and you got the Connors, and why they would even want to continue it on. This survey really says a lot to me in the methodology happening in Hollywood with TV and movies. This survey says that 75% of us would give any reboot of an old show a chance, as long as the original cast is involved. 75%, 3 out of 4.
It depends on what the reboot is for me. I know that there's some I would absolutely be very excited for. If they brought Steve
Probably
Carell,
a show you were watching already.
If they brought Steve Carell back to The Office and they had everybody, I would be very excited about that.
This probably applies to people if you're interested in a show and they brought that show back. Would you be interested in it? Would you watch it with a reboot? Only 35% said they'd watch a reboot with a new cast and storyline.
Yeah, you'll lose me with that, too.
So that drops way off.
What?
Yeah, I was wondering that because, my one of my kids was telling me they're redoing Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but it's going to be darker, and they seem to like that. That is... Were we talking about that here, or was I talking about that with somebody else about just how things like in the... Yeah, we were talking about here, about the 80s. What was different about the 80s? I'm like, things were lighter and funnier, and like now... Like the horror genre, my 2 older kids, big into the horror movies. Even like the show my daughter was watching, I sat down and watched an episode with her, the Riverdale. It's a remake of kind of the old Jughead, Archie and
comics,
Jughead. But it's dark, and it's like scary, suspenseful.
I think things like Breaking Bad, some of the original Netflix programming, a lot of that stuff has got a darker tone to it, without a doubt. And it's a trend.
It's
the 80s,
darker. The 80s was light and fluffy and wah, wah, wah.
Even you bring up those
campy.
Those episodes where they're dealing with tough subjects. They'd always started off, this is a very special Different Strokes. And
you're right.
Shit. But it's still working.
You knew it was coming, yeah.
The one Different Strokes, me and Denny's were watching it, and it's called The Bicycle Man. It's when Dudley gets molested by the bicycle guy.
Dudley got a different stroke.
And I am.
That's what they meant.
It was so bizarre because in the bicycle shop, the guy is saying the creepiest shit to Dudley and Arnold. And what they did was they put laugh tracks in the background. So he's saying crazy, creepy shit, and Arnold and Dudley are uncomfortable, so they're just making comments, and then you hear a laugh track, and it made it seem.
That's so weird.
It was very weird.
Is that anywhere on YouTube?
Yes, if you Google Different Strokes, Bicycle Man, highly recommend watching it just because.
And it's when he's like saying his inappropriate lines, the Bicycle Man, and people they hit a laugh track.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna drink some wine," and Arnold's like, "I'm not drinking any wine." It's like laugh track.
It's real fucked up that I think about this now, but we had a Bicycle Man one street over from me, and here's the mentality, and I figured this out as an adult, but as a kid I didn't know what was going on. Bicycle Man knows kids love bicycles. What's going to bring kids to your yard faster than free bicycles? Or he'll fix your bike with free parts, so bring your bike to him. This guy was a pervert. And I remember one time as a kid, he touched me on I didn't have any tits, but what would have been my tits.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is odd.
Like what? He stuck a finger out and like.
No, like he rubbed like my chest area when we were over there, like either getting a bike or he would let you borrow bikes.
Oh, that fuckface.
Well, it was the bike thing was just a front to get the kids there. And it's the 80s. I mean, we were our parents were stupid in the 80s.
Well, it was a different time.
It was a different time. Like nobody knew that the bike man was trying to get kids there so he could do weird stuff to them.
Well, I didn't even realize the term serial killer didn't start until, pretty late in the game. Serial killer is more or less a newer phrase, so that shows you how things have changed a bit.
I feel like I would have been a helicopter parent even in the 80s, though. I feel like it's just
if
a personality.
Think about all the missing children. That there was a big boom in the 80s. All of a sudden, it was publicized when a child got. It was missing. It was on the milk carton. It was everywhere. They started reporting it on TV. They were doing movies about it, and that was different from the past. So it got in the media a lot too. I don't know if that helps or if that makes it worse. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. So they also said 33% of the respondents said that they'd be more interested in original new shows than reboots. Only 33% of the respondents said that they were more interested in original shows than reboots. So just to let you know that of that, 67% are like, no, give me a reboot. I'm cool with that. 33% are like going, no, I'd like to have a new whole show. So that's why you see, you got Magnum P.I. on, and you got the Lethal Weapon, and you got almost every show if you go down through the whole thing. And how many CSIs do they do?
Right.
A
lot.
They don't, just because it's familiarity. It's the vehicle, it's the concept.
They all do good too.
Yeah, that's the way we are. I don't know what it is. We just don't want new things.
I do, though. I do like fresh content. But I also like fresh content with old things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
People you like, I think that's why TV shows do so well, because you got a character you love and you want to see what goes on with them.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, they've retread, how many different... cartoons and stuff like that. That's something that, they're always doing new stuff with. I think, what was it I saw? Is there something new with Scooby-Doo? I think is
Scooby don't.
Again.
Have we had enough?
Scooby don't.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. Scooby don't.
Scooby don't.
I know who's playing Shaggy. Denny's is a dark-haired Shaggy.
We need to get him a mystery van. What is that thing? The mystery machine.
He kind of has a mystery station wagon. It's kind of like that.
He does,
Some people have gone into that thing and they've never come out.
When we win the Powerball tonight with your numbers that you gave me, we're buying him a mystery machine.
How great would that be? Imagine the fucking things we could do with that budget.
We would have so much fun. I would be the most fun rich person.
If we won it, though, if one of us won it, would you guys see it? Because I know I would not want to quit the show. I would want to continue to do work in the show because I love it.
I agree.
Would you stick around?
I think everybody has to have purpose in their life, and this gives us great purpose. Now, Would we have to do everything the way we do it now?
Fuck no.
We would
Fuck no.
probably build our own studio and do it on our time, on our rules, and then sell our product back to whoever wanted it.
You guys do this event on Saturday night at 10? Nope. Can you guys no? Can you guys no?
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting to think about.
It is.
That's the fun of Powerball and Mega Millions or whatever you play. That's the fun, and that is worth $1 or $2.
Dollar and a dream, Virginia.
Sit right there and think for 20 minutes of all the fun stuff you would do with the millions. That's entertainment.
Can you win the Powerball and not go public with it, or is that always going to come out?
You can absolutely stay anonymous.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And
People
today-
do it. So what you do is you of course, you have to have a good financial advisor, and you form a corporation, and you have the corporation claim it, and you just make it like, Big Tits Incorporated or whatever. You just create
have got
something.
tits on the brain.
I'm so happy with my tits right now. I can't wait to see them. I see them for the first time on Friday, and what I can see, they are perky. They're perky like they've never been.
Panda. All right. Good for him.
You might be more excited than Virginia.
He should be.
He's scared because right now they're Franken boobies.
He's afraid one of them's gonna, might take one of them off or something.
Yeah, they're very fragile, and he kind of didn't want to see them. I made him look.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want to see smushed.
No, he just wants to see them when they're finished and cooked, like the Thanksgiving turkey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Has the little thing popped out yet? They're done.
Don't tell me how it's
They're
cooked.
ready to be eaten.
Let me see Shirley from the Pizzle. If you don't know, she picked herself up a My Little Pony onesie in the kids section at Target. I was running to the adult section to see if they had anything, but when I got there, none of the onesies spoke to my soul the way this Rainbow Dash one did, so I bought the largest size. They had in the kids section, took it home to rock it. I know I can be a little extra at times. I got excited easily, and the smallest and seemingly most random things of being a human is hard enough without constantly trying to be what others think you should be.
Why? I'm trying to think of the My Little Pony theme. Is it
My little pony, my little pony, I love to brush their hair.
My Little
Shirley.
Pony?
She's adorable, Jay Bird.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering,
Can you
actually.
not make sure? Does everything have to
Yeah.
be like you're trying to hook me
Well,
up?
I'm kind of wondering, I'm kind of reading through the lines here, and I'm like, yeah, if she is single, I know what the motive is here. She's
Well, is
sent
she
an email
single?
after-
Let's ask her.
That's the question. 'cause
Ask her.
She sent an email after Jaybird's Own Heart talking about adult onesies.
That
Like,
don't
who's,
mean it.
And
Yeah.
she's cute.
yeah, yeah. I would wager that
She's a
Shirley
little
is-
tiny thing, too. She fits in a youth
I would wager
size.
that she is single and she knows exactly
But-
what she's doing there. She just threw a little
But
chum in the water.
Virginia will be out and someone will say, I'm going to order a pizza. Bird, she likes pizza.
You're the only one that hates it. The girls like it. I like it. Kevin likes it. The listeners like it. Stop being a bitch. Hashtag Bird's a bitch.
Don't get that trending again. Oh, no.
3 people.
You're right. 3 people.
3 people. Bird's a bitch.
Also, thank you very much to Joey from Seascape Window for the nice email.
Oh,
From-
he's very nice.
From who?
Joey?
Who? Joey.
Baby.
It's fun of Virginia to sing.
That's my cut.
Thank you for being the best show and the After the Show podcast around. My whole family loves you guys. Thanks for mentioning my daughter Evie's birthday. She loved hearing her name on the radio. Yes, my son's name is Espen, ESPN.
Aw.
If you've seen Blended, you'll hear Adam Sandler's kid's name in the movie is Espen. This is a true story. Adam was a customer of my family's barbecue restaurant in Boca Raton and saw a picture of my kids on the wall with their names next to the photo and loved his name. So he went back to production and talked to Drew Barrymore and told her the story of Espen. She agreed that they must use it. So they went back and made Espen one of the kids.
Aw.
Then Adam told the story of how he got the name on Good Morning America and other outlets.
That's so cool.
That is pretty awesome, right? So thanks for being awesome. And so auto-corrected to ducking other outlets.
What?
Yeah, I think it changed it.
Sorry, I'm catching up. People talking some major shit about Virginia in the chat room.
Why?
Virginia just makes up her own facts. Virginia lives in her own world. It's actually kind of pathological. Chris M. in the
Chris M., you can suck my sutured titty. What did I make up?
Well, apparently I think we got wrong. A couple facts we got wrong about Roseanne. They do tackle heavy issues.
I don't watch the fucking show. I've said that. I don't care. I don't like it. And it's a little bit too...
Well, Chris M's listening. Tell him.
Chris M., go fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
I like Kevin's face.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like reading them, see what
Oh, I love it. I just love
comments say.
I'm sorry. I thought Roseanne was a comedy. I didn't mean to offend you.
In your defense, you could have been wrong about something else. I'm just kind of glancing over these comments.
There's a lot of things you've said that are very questionable today, Virginia.
I
guess
don't
is what you're
know.
trying to
I'm
say.
rarely wrong. Ask my husband.
Oh, your boy, MBD, Metal Beard Dan, talking some shit too.
Is Metal Beard... Oh, I think he hates me.
I think he does.
Yeah. Metal Beard Dan definitely hates me, which I'm fine with. The feeling's mutual, bitch.
Now we're getting somewhere, aren't
You
we?
don't hear a lot of radio shows, dude.
Bridging the gap, Kev.
That's right.
They started it, Kevin.
All right,
When they
unfortunately.
go low, I go lower.
That's right, baby. That's our motto around here.
I love your weed dress.
Thank you. I don't even smoke weed, but I do love the smell of it.
That's right. Today's legalized day in Canada.
Woohoo!
Denny's has got the car already running.
Oh, he's beside himself. He's got the special bong ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
But if I don't even live in Canada.
Yeah, you know he's celebrating. Yeah, he got that red card out. He's ready to go. Very nice. All right, you guys have an amazing day. We will talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.